As the floods of 1993 began, flows of 33,000 cubic feet per second overtopped Coolidge Dam spillways, inundating the Gila River downstream. The flooding of the Gila River Indian community began on Friday, January 8, 1993. Water flowing under bridges and through low water crossings caused numerous road closures.
This is Oberg Bridge. Estimated flow 7,000 CFS.
The roads remain closed several months. Skousen Road remains closed to this day.
Pointing the camera to the west. This is all water that's backed up from the Salt River.
One of the first major emergencies of the flood was the breaching of Canal 9, south of Oberg Bridge.
There's the break-in point right there.
Efforts began immediately to dam the canal north of the bridge to force water back into the river. Before the dam in Canal 9 was constructed, the canal was breached several miles downstream, resulting in the flooding of homes.
Of 92.
The flood came in waves. At one point, the flood waters receded temporarily, allowing inspection of road damage at Skousen Road. This damage was minor compared to the destruction that occurred over the next several days.
The end of the bridge went sometime.
One of two flood fatalities on the Gila River Indian Reservation occurred when police officer Kevin Lewis skidded over the north end of the Skousen Road Bridge. He was answering a late-night call regarding a downed power line. He was later found in the river 5 miles downstream. His vehicle was not found until 12 months later, approximately 300 feet from the bridge and buried several feet under the riverbed. Three months of severe river bank erosion followed the cresting of the river. This concrete pad of an irrigation well was at ground level prior to the flood. The first rock jetties were constructed by Mr. Bob Skousen, whose farm is adjacent to the community. The jetties were eventually washed away.
Oh, now watch the loop. Hold on, we got a loop. Okay. Yeah, he needs to have bluff up there. He's going to be in trouble.
One of the problems involved in flood fighting and assisting community members was having equipment getting stuck in the mud. Housing in the Santa Cruz area of the community was the hardest hit by the flood. The area is subject to flooding because of its proximity to the confluence of the Gila and the Santa Cruz rivers. Both rivers were flowing simultaneously with near-record flows. The National Guard provided assistance in delivering water and supplies to the community. Coordination with the National Guard, police, emergency workers, and many other organizations was accomplished through an emergency operations center. The center was manned 24 hours a day during the first 10 days of the flood. Industrial Park Road and its bridge were destroyed, much like the Skousen Road Bridge.
This is the south side of Attaway Bridge.
Attaway Bridge, just east of the Gila River Indian Community, served as an emergency route to the Blackwater District north of the river, until its approaches were destroyed. Riprap from the blasting of rock was used to stabilize the riverbank in the vicinity of homes, irrigation facilities, and roads. Approximately 40,000 cubic yards of riprap were hauled and placed in small jetties along the riverbank.
Dead pool of water right there. Since we're out of riprap and out of rock, we're going to use this to shore up.
Resources for erosion control were very scarce prior to the blasting of rock. Several cars from a salvage yard were used. Though the cars were successful in preventing erosion, there was still occasional problems associated with placing cars near deep, rapid flood waters.
From the dead water between the cars. You can see a sandbar that...
Mr. Rees lived in a double-wide mobile home near the old river channel.
In 50 feet of his trailer right now.
The bank erosion was so severe and rapid that a crew worked all night disassembling his trailer and transporting it to safe ground.
Wheel bearings are frozen.
The next day, the river was flowing where his home once stood. When the flood had ended, damage extended to power, water, and phone utilities crossing the river.
Leak and the wells are off.
The flood of 1993 was an awesome, destructive event that left its mark on the Gila River Indian community for many years to come.
I'm on my way back down to 91st now. 1023, T1.